Welcome to AIMEzing Words, and right now we're going to talk about a very serious issue topic in America, and I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible, but be as honest as possible. I am a 22-year-old African American male. I'm growing up in the United States. My father is from the Democratic Republic of the Congo over in Africa. My mother was born in Western New York, has been raised in the state of New York for the majority of her life. Basically, her whole life spent in New York, and me as well. My 22 years I've been spent most of my time in Western New York. But the topic that I'm going to talk about right now is Bill Cosby. And as a young black man, you grow up and you hope that life can kind of be like the Huxtables. You hope that you can be the man that's the father, the husband, the one bringing in great money, that makes his wife laugh, that is the example to his children, that always is able to spice things up in a relationship, be romantic to his wife, be a good son, and surprise his parents. And you think about episodes of him singing, to Ray Charles and the whole family performing. You think about how he was inviting, they didn't really have to deal with racism at the time, and it was like, they had a little chunky kid to come over, and there was never an issue. We didn't talk about that, and it was so positive, and it meant so much to so many people across the globe. You know what I mean? Especially people in the United States that weren't, Caucasian American. It meant a lot for a quote unquote minority family to be that happy and that positive and that successful. And when you talk about these allegations and all these women coming out, it hurts. It hurts a lot, because my honest belief is that Bill Cosby definitely is guilty. He's guilty of all of that. We talking about uh, uh, um, an elderly black man who just I watched the interview, the AP interview he did, and that's when I knew for sure that he was guilty. In 1967, he had a stand-up joke about putting a drug in her drink, and the saddest part about it is that he's not the only one. He's just the face of it, and he's the one who's gonna get brought down the most, and it hurts. As I say, it's not about race when I say, as a black man, Bill Cosby meant so much to us as a people. It's about um, just somebody representing for your community, just somebody representing, uh, you know, on behalf of your grandparents, somebody representing on behalf of your parents, somebody who came up in a time and made things popping for a lot of people out here that may not have been done. He knocked some doors down for people that may not have been knocked down, and it kind of sets us back. It's kind of like the whole thing with Dr. King. They say Dr. King had, side women, which, at the time that was a thing. And, people just don't like to act like it was. A lot of these marriages that lasted 60 some years, it wasn't because husband and wife just lived lovey dovey and everyone was so faithful. That's not the truth. Sometimes you just learn to push through and you fight through, and you guys love each other in such a way that, when you get old, you just appreciate the fact that that person put up with you. But, to talk about Bill Cosby, man, Bill Cosby gave people hope. Bill Cosby made you believe that you can be a black man that could wear a belt and he doesn't have to sag his pants, and you can talk right, and you can be educated, and you can still be just as funny. You can still love your wife. You know what I'm saying? You can still handle all the business you gotta handle, man. It was almost too perfect, I guess. And you don't wanna take everything away from the Cosby Show, because the Cosby Show was so awesome, man. Yeah, I don't think people really understand what it's like to be a minority in the United States of America sometimes, because 1 second it's like you're praised for greatness you can do, and the next second is like you're just like everybody else that messed up that you look like. And it hurts. It hurts me a lot as a young man to come to the conclusion that, what, I've known for a while that everyone isn't perfect, but to think that a man that inspired and helped out so many people can hurt so many people is shameful. And I think it points to a lot of things that people don't want to look at. When you go to college, I'll never forget, they tell you, if you and a young lady get drunk and both of you are intoxicated and you do engage in some type of sexual act, at the end of the day, if she wakes up the next day and says, what, she didn't want that to occur, you can be legally, you know, brought up for charges. You can be, you know, charged for rape. And I don't know how things were back then. I don't know if, you know, it was kind of the thing. Oh, we put something in a drink, cool, blah blah blah. I'm not saying that insensitively. I'm 22 years old. I was born in 1993. I have only the internet, word of mouth, and just my own personal intuition to develop my thoughts and how things could have gone back then. But um, it's sad. We got all these women on TV saying that he drugged, he raped me. And you know what? Some of them got to be lying if you be honest with yourself. Because you don't wait this long to say it. But you know that there's so many that there's a lot that he did do that to. And, he's a powerful man. And men in this country have remained powerful. But you look at the 60s, 70s. That's why I never felt sympathy for Joe Paterno. There was a bunch of dirt being done that just wasn't released because that was a time where it was the hush hush in the United States of America. Now we live in an era where you do one thing and the world wants to jump down your throat like you're the worst person in the world. And you know, I just really want people to not taint what the Cosby Show stood for, but it's going to be extremely tough. And Bill Cosby, he he had an issue to me because he was too quick to always call out the wrongs doing in young black men and not trying to um, inspire them and push them to make people better. And there's a certain way that you talk to somebody when you want something to get done and you want them to improve. You don't yell at them. You don't come at them as an attacker. You come at them as a person who's willing to help and only looking to help inspire them. But just wanted to voice some things out. I don't know if there's anybody out there that feels like me, but I just feel like, man, it hurts because you know what? Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show obviously was before my time, before my generation, but it was something I look back on because as a black man, you wanted to see examples. I have a great relationship with my pops, but I didn't grow up, in with a marriage in my face with my dad and my mom and see how that goes. So you try and pick and choose from all over, and you always looked at, me personally, I always looked at Cliff Huxtable as, the model husband. He did everything he had to do. You know what I mean? He brought home the bacon and he can make the bacon. You know what I'm saying? And he can make you laugh with the bacon, and that was something special. Make the kids happy. You know what I mean? But excuse me for saying all that time, but Bill Cosby is a rapist, and for all the good he's done, only God can judge him for all the wrong he's done, and that goes for all of us. I just want people to still appreciate the Cosby Show, and as difficult as it is, separate one from the other because rape is no joke. Rape is a serious issue going on in this world, in this society, and it's not something that we should really laugh about. It's not something that we should just poke fun and look past. There's people that are seriously damaged for the rest of their lives after dealing with a situation like that. And that's why it hurts the most. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt the most to me, obviously. Those women that he did that to, those women, they're affected. And when they're affected, then their children are affected and their whole mentality. And they have to go through life feeling scared, go through life, always having to deal with the trauma of that situation. And uh, it's just disheartening. Um, told you, changing things up with the amazing words. Just wanted to talk about this. And like I said, just want to talk about Bill Cosby from the eyes of a young black man who did admire some of the things he's done and is now just disgusted by some of these things he's done as well. Uh, I wish peace to all. I gotta go.